Okay, I don't really know what to say about this Monday Night Raw. Last week, from what I gathered, it was a decent Raw. It was a lot better than usual episode, but as soon as they have a little bit of momentum going into things, they just go back to the same old routine. Uh, at the third hour, for example, you had Ryback, and I love Ryback. Ryback's one of my top 10 wrestlers on the current roster right now against Mark Henry. In the third hour of a wrestling show, people don't want to see Ryback versus Mark Henry. I just don't understand how or what goes through their mind when they put the show together and they think, we have to hook them to watch the third hour. What's the best thing to do? Oh, I know. Let's give them Ryback versus Mark Henry. Uh, and I don't know. There's a reason I can't sit here and watch 3 hours of Raw. I watched the first 20 minutes. I saw on Instagram that Lesnar and Heyman were going to open the show, so I watched the first promo. It was good. It was very good, actually. Probably the highlight of the show. And you move forward. Dean Ambrose versus Kane, a match we've seen 100 times. It's okay. I don't know, nothing special. And then I saw Primetime Players versus The Ascension. Not really much to say about that, but it was Primetime Players versus The Ascension. It was what it was. Kofi Kingston versus Neville was good. It was a fresh matchup. I can't. Well, at least it might have been on SmackDown, but I think it was on SmackDown, honestly. But the thing is, what I'm trying to say is Raw is a very, very missable show now. It's becoming more and more skippable each week, and there are literally 3 segments you should go out of your way to make sure you watch if you want to keep up with the important storylines. From 8 o'clock to 8:20, probably 9 o'clock to about 9:15, and then like I did now, 11 o'clock until right, it's 20 after 11. So pretty much there's about 15, 30, about 45 minutes to 50 minutes. 50, maybe let's just say 45 minutes to 1 hour of important stuff for Raw. And the rest of the 2 hours are completely irrelevant. And I guess the highlight of the show, minus the opening Paul Heyman's great promo, would be the main event, where it was just Seth Rollins coming out to say sorry to his authority friends, Joey Mercury, Jamie Noble, and Kane. And Brock Lesnar came out and they teased that, there was some dissension within the authority, but it was a big swerve and it was a 4-on-1 beatdown, and then it ended up becoming a 3-on-1 thing. I don't know where that other guy, Jamie Noble, went, but he was out of commission. And they beat down Brock pretty damn good. You don't see Brock Lesnar get thrown around and really manhandled the way he was in that last segment. There's been times where I think he was facing Triple H where they've kind of gone back and forth, but it was always Lesnar kind of looking strong and walking out as a beast. And same with Cena. Cena's had his fair shares of encounters with Brock, and whether or not it be Cena with the upper hand or not, they never left Brock Lesnar just laid out. And I think this is the first time since his return 2 years ago, minus getting beat. It's where Brock Lesnar's just out cold, and I think it's cool, and it's surprising because what's that paper called, Battleground? It's known to be literally a garbage C show or just whatever. I went to the very first Battleground. I talk about it all the time. R-Truth versus Curtis Axel, and they're building the show up to be pretty damn good. And usually it's just one of those. I thought it was just one of that speed bump that you hit before going to SummerSlam. It's a pay-per-view that you use to build up the big matches for SummerSlam. And from what I hear, they're planning to do Triple H versus Seth Rollins at SummerSlam. So I don't know where Brock Lesnar is going to come into the fold. I'm sure he would be at that event. It's one of they call it the second biggest pay-per-view of the year. But they're doing Cena versus Owens in their rubber match at Battleground. They're doing Seth Rollins versus Brock. those are two huge matches, and with a month build, which is what the point I was getting to, is for a couple months now, you've had a 2-week build onto their big shows, and now you got a 5-week build, which is just unheard of, really, in WWE land. You get it for maybe Royal Rumble at times. I think there's been times where you had 3 to 4 weeks. WrestleMania, obviously, you have a whole month, but for Battleground, 5 weeks, it's very rare to see. And I think, with that being said, it gives them time for the matches to mean something, and I think it will mean something. And this is a pay-per-view, I will say right now, I'm gonna go out of my way to see, because of just the effort so far they're putting into it. You never know. I think for the next 3 weeks they can just go off the rails and I wouldn't care. But the first couple weeks they've made me want to see. And Brock Lesnar's on the show, so whether or not I don't go, I will definitely see that Brock Lesnar match, because like Paul Heyman said, Brock Lesnar's an attraction, and when Brock's there, you want to see what happens and you want to see what carnage that he brings. And so that's all. I'll see you guys in the next video.